rising senior right now, going to Mission Science at high school. And as Chris mentioned, my summer project is the Watchman robot. It has a very simple objective, and that is to track anyone that it picks up on its camera. And you might be saying, why would you pick such a weird looking robot? Well, I was actually thinking about a Halloween decoration I needed for my new house front porch, and I was like, this is the perfect thing. So that's why I chose it, and I'll be demonstrating it to you in a sec. But before I do that, I will be taking off the mask just so you can see all the nasty circuitry inside. So, I can just do this. Yeah, it looks really weird, and it will focus on many people's faces because there are so many people. But this is all written in a Raspberry Pi imager, and the code it uses is Python. So it's all run on that. So if I can just feel the vision, as you can see, my face pulls up on the camera, and it's detecting everyone around me because there's so many. But if it's focused on me only, the eyeballs will move according to wherever I move, and sometimes they'll like adjust to someone else. But that's how it works, like that's how it looks. So now I'll go through a quick rundown of how it works, like mechanically and software. It's a very simplified version, and there's a lot of code behind it, but I'll give a quick rundown. So first, over here on top, in the center, there's a camera module, Pi camera, and that actually sends a live feed out, and then sends it to a Raspberry Pi board on the bottom. So what happens is, as you saw in the live video, there's a box around the face, and each box has an X, Y coordinate, and that X and Y coordinate is sent to the Raspberry Pi, and that Raspberry Pi through a serial wire sends it to the Arduino. And that Arduino, once it gets those X and Y coordinates, it's able to translate them into servo positions, and those servo positions are sent to the servos and moves the eyeballs. So let's talk about the mechanical portion of it. Behind each eyeball, there's two servos, one for the x-axis and one for the y-axis. And obviously, if you have x and y, you can move it to any degree you want. It can go diagonal, it can go on curve, it can go anywhere you want it to, so its field of vision is very high. I guess the biggest problem I faced was with Raspberry Pi. Oh my god, it's so bad, like it's so faulty, and whoever made it really needs to fix it, because the first time I got my camera and tested it out, it failed. And after like a week of debugging, I realized the camera itself was broken and not my code. And the thing was, the board broke next, like it just fried out, and I had to completely order a new one, and they're not cheap, okay? So I spent 2 weeks just debugging. I had to go through every line of code, and if you saw the code that was on the Raspberry Pi, there's like 200 lines plus, and I had to go through each one, because with that much lines, that many lines, anything can go wrong, right? Like one semicolon is all over. So that definitely, the electronics was the hard part, and obviously 3D printing something this small while having all these mechanisms on it was definitely the hardest part. In the future, what I'd definitely add would be like some sort of neck and some sort of like wheels of some sort, because if you see, a camera only has a certain amount of things it can see in one move, right? So anytime you accidentally move out the frame, it stops looking at the person. So as soon as I start moving out the frame, I want to have like a neck so it like turns along with it, making it even more creepier. I also had a small idea of maybe replacing my doorbell with this, and there's like a small button on top I kept for future use where I can just click it and it'll send a doorbell, and then this will just keep a track on it. You know, when UPS delivers it, sometimes they don't even keep it on the front doorstep. They put it all the way to the side, and then you can't see it. So that's why I have a lot of modifications that I can be added to this. I really do recommend this to anyone. I actually came into BlueStamp not knowing a thing. I just knew I love building stuff, and I didn't know anything to do with electrical wires. I didn't even know how to solder, okay? And that's like the basic stuff. But with this advanced project and 6 weeks to complete it, I had to really research a lot. And now I have a very in-depth understanding of Arduino and Raspberry Pi. So even if you have no experience, I would recommend it to anyone. And I really enjoyed this, and thank you so much. And thank you to my instructors for helping me.